everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Khushi and today I am going to discuss about the second topic in general anat which is important for the university examination. So the topic which I am going to discuss is epiphysis. In this we will be learning about its definition and classification. In classification, we have two types of classification. First is according to number of epiphyses and the second is on the basis of function. In number of epiphyses, we have two types, simple and compound, while based on function, we have five types, pressure epiphysis, traction epiphysis, atavistic epiphysis, aberrant epiphysis, and last is compound epiphysis. So we will be learning each one in detail in the next slide. First, definition. So what is the definition of epiphysis? So it is the ends and tips of a bone which ossify from secondary epiphyses, secondary centers. Secondary centers are called epiphyses. The ends and tips of a bone which ossify from secondary centers are called epiphyses. So ends and tips of a bone which ossify from secondary centers are called epiphyses. Now we have the classification. First classification is according to number of epiphyses. According to number of epiphyses. So first we have simple epiphysis. In simple epiphysis, the ends of long bones develop from many epiphyses. Again, the ends of long bones develop from many epiphyses. If you are trying to understand with the lecture, then you will not have to read it again and again. You will understand it and you can write it in your examination. So again we will start with simple epiphysis. Ends of long bones develop from many epiphyses. These fuse independently with shaft. These fuse independently with shaft. And the example for it is femur. First, what happens? Ends of the long bone is developing from many epiphyses. Okay, so many epiphyses forming the end of a bone. See, if you try to understand it here, suppose this is one epiphysis, this is the other epiphysis, this is the other epiphysis, this is the other sorry. Okay, so here is the other epiphysis, here is the other epiphysis, and this is the shaft of a bone. So what will happen? Sorry, I made it wrong a bit. So this is what our epiphysis, many epiphysis. This is one epiphysis, this is other epiphysis, this is an epiphysis, this is an epiphysis, this is an epiphysis. So all of these epiphyses will make the end of a bone and then they fuse independently. So they will fuse independently to the shaft. So what will happen? First this will be attached, then this will get attached, then this one, then this one, and separately, individually, all these epiphyses will attach to the shaft. For example, we have the femur and then it will form a complete bone. That's all for simple epiphysis. Now we come to the compound epiphysis, that when the ends of bones develop from many centers. That is one. Only this single epiphysis is forming by many centers. Many centers. Many centers are involved to form only one epiphysis. Then this kind of epiphysis is called compound epiphysis. So the end of a bone is developing from many centers which unite to form a single epiphysis. And this single epiphysis then fuses with the shaft and it forms a complete bone. So this is known as compound epiphysis. For example, we take humerus. Now we will learn about the classification second type based on function. So first we have is the pressure epiphysis. So first is pressure epiphysis, then we have traction epiphysis, then we have atavistic epiphysis, aberrant epiphysis and compound epiphysis. So first we will learn about pressure epiphysis. It is articular in nature. It takes part in transmission of weight and its examples are head of humerus, lower end of radius, and there are many more examples, but for the examination you have to write at least one example of each epiphysis when you are describing it. Now the second epiphysis we are going to learn about is the traction epiphysis. It is non-articular in nature, do not take part in transmission of weight, provides attachment to one or more tendons which exert a traction on the epiphysis. Traction means pulling kind of act. Traction epiphysis ossify later than pressure epiphysis. So first, what ossifies is the pressure epiphysis, and after its ossification, traction epiphysis will ossify. Now for example, we take trochanter of femur and tubercles of humerus. The third we have the atavistic epiphysis, which is phylogenetically independent bone. In men becomes fused to another bone. For example, if we take coracoid process of scapula, OS of trigonum or lateral tubercle of posterior process of talus. So atavistic epiphysis is phylogenetically an independent bone and in men it becomes fused to another bone and its example is coracoid process of scapula or OS of trigonum or lateral head of posterior process of talus. Now we come to the aberrant epiphysis, not always present. Aberrant epiphysis is not always present. In some cases it is present and in some it is not. For example, epiphysis at head of first metacarpal and the base of other metacarpal bones. Now we come to the compound epiphysis. In some bone, two to three smaller epiphysis joins to form a compound epiphysis before joining the shaft. As we have seen in the classification based on number of epiphysis present, we have seen that compound epiphysis is when many centers forms the end. Say the end is formed by many centers and then it forms one epiphysis and then that fuses to the shaft. So that is known as compound epiphysis. But on functional basis, we have that in some bones there are 2 to 3 smaller epiphyses which join to form compound epiphysis before joining the shaft. So this is what epiphysis is. Now example, upper end of humerus. At upper end of humerus we have epiphysis of head, greater and lesser tubercles, and then it joins to form a compound epiphysis, then this compound epiphysis joins the shaft. That is, at the upper end of humerus, we have the epiphysis of head, greater and lesser tubercles, and these all joins together and form a compound epiphysis, right? And then this compound epiphysis is joining to the shaft of the humerus. And similar events occur at the lower end of the humerus too. So this was all about the classification based on function. Now we have the structure of bone in this image. This part is known as proximal epiphysis and this part is known as distal epiphysis. Proximal epiphysis, and this is diaphysis, and between proximal epiphysis and diaphysis there is metaphysis. Similarly, between distal epiphysis and diaphysis there is again metaphysis. Then we have the articular cartilage. Here also we have the articular cartilage. This part is spongy bone. This line is epiphyseal line. This part is red bone marrow. The small dots you can see. This is the red bone marrow. This part is endosteum. This is compact bone. Then this part is medullary cavity. This is yellow bone marrow. This is periosteum and this is nutrient artery. So these are the parts which we need to know about a bone. So that's it for today. I hope you have understood the topic and I hope this will help. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe and give a like if you like the video and understood it. Please do comment down which topic you want to cover the next time. Thank you very much.